think for me, I grew up in a very musical household, and my mom and dad were both songwriters. You know, that was kind of their passion, and both musicians. And I'm not sure why that seed or that mantle fell to me, but it was always the thing that I wanted to do. And I mean, I started composing when I was 5, and you know, granted they were really bad songs, but anyway, it was just something I always wanted to do. And I guess I got started when I was, like, professionally when I was 18 and working in a studio, and then got a job at Dollywood, and it was, you know, just, it's interesting the things that you do to get started. It's almost like you work with what's in your area, and then you kind of figure out, you know, what it is that you connect with. And for me, I knew that I loved songwriting and storytelling, and I had a faith that I knew was important to express. And so for me, I think that all clicked around 18 or 19, where I didn't really know about Christian music because there wasn't Christian radio in my area, but I just felt like I wanted to sing about God, and I'm glad it all worked out. I'm searching, I'm trapped, my life's been on a wrap. I think that it's kind of like journaling for songwriters, or praying. I think you know, there are so many times when you're not really sure what the answer is, and sometimes the song comes at the end of that, at the end of the struggle, because, you know, you've had some sort of epiphany, or it comes before the epiphany and you don't really understand what it means exactly yourself. But it's great to have that outlet, and to just kind of have that to express what you're feeling, what you're going through. For me, it's all about everyday life. And you know, sometimes when, like yesterday for instance, I had a couple hours to go home, and it was a beautiful day, not as windy as it is today, but my husband and I went out with our 2 little girls. We have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, Olivia and Savannah, and you know, they were kind of frolicking through the grass and picking flowers, and I just had that moment of thinking, wow, I'll never get this moment again. And I think it's just like simple things like that that just remind you of the things that are really important, and the things that really matter. And you know, you just carry those things around inside until they bubble up into some sort of song.
She works down on Broadway, sells pieces of her soul.
I probably have a couple of favorites, like one that I really love, and actually that was inspired by kind of the community down here on Broadway, where we're at in Nashville here by the Ryman, is a song called Where You Are. And it's all about people living on the fringe, or not, but it's about that God sees all of us, whoever you are. You know, life is hard in different ways for everybody, and you know, the hope in being a person of faith is that God is present in all of those situations. And that song, to me, is kind of a core of what the record is about. And then there's another song called Mother, which is a song about my relationship with my mom and our struggle. Probably a very common and classic mother-daughter struggle that we have gone through and have gotten to the other side of. And so, you know, that song, I hope, just inspires other women, you know, to kind of have that talk with their mom, because sometimes it's hard to go to that place and be honest and say the things that you haven't been saying. But I think when you do, it kind of gets you to the place of healing on the other side.
I sing because it's burning inside.
Nothing comes to you when you're on top of the world. It's always when you're at the bottom, usually. I mean, there are a few happy songs that come along, but you know, it depends, I guess, on what kind of songwriter you are. But for me, the good and bad news about being a songwriter is that, you know, the best songs come from the worst times.
Oh, God